What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. And before I even get into this video, because you guys already read the title, you saw the thumbnail, it's not like the topic of this video is a surprise or anything along those lines. I do want to apologize because originally I was going to put this video up a couple days ago. So when I say that, I actually mean that when I uploaded my last video, I was planning on doing 2 videos that day. And my microphone died, so with technical difficulties being the case, by the time it was charged up, I had to go off to work and I closed, so I wasn't going to come back home after closing and be like, yeah, let's go ahead and make videos. I was tired. So I said, you know what, next time I upload, I'm going to do 3 videos instead of 2. So here I am with the one you guys are supposed to have a couple days ago. Again, I do apologize. Excuse me. But as I mentioned before, you guys did read the title. You saw the thumbnail. Let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about firearms storage. A lot of people might be wondering, well, what would be the safest way for me to store my firearms? And it depends really on how many you have and what you're using them for, right? So am I talking about... and yes, for storage, solely storage, I do recommend an empty chamber. I'm going to get into reasons as to why as well. But besides the point, let me clarify a couple of things. When I'm talking about storage, I'm talking about storing your guns that you do not use on a daily basis, that you are not carrying or using for home defense. Those firearms, I do recommend you keep around in the chamber, on at least on your carry gun, if not your home defense gun as well. But that's besides the point. So you guys understand that I am referring to your excess firearms, not those particular ones, okay? Just that way no one's like, oh, well, Mark's telling you to, have the chamber empty on your carry gun. I am in no way saying anything along those lines. I'm solely talking about storing all your other guns. If you're like me and you own a ton of guns, you just have to store them, and there's a safe way to do it and a non-safe way, and I'm going to talk about it. So the reason why I recommend a loaded mag but a empty chamber, just like as you guys can see right here, empty chamber, no mag in it, but this mag loaded. So loaded mag, empty chamber. Why do I recommend that? Some people might be wondering. So just in case you do need to get to your guns for a self-defense purpose, for some reason, every other gun that you do use for self-defense, you've used all the ammo for it. You've used every single magazine you have, or the guns have been stolen, whatever it could be. But you need to get to a gun quick. And you go to where you have all your guns stored up, grab one out. You can rack it and you're good to go. You're in the fight. Some people might be arguing, well, yes, but also you could just have a round in the chamber on that and be ready to go in the fight a little bit quicker. Yeah, sure. However, let's be 100% honest here. Not everybody is the smartest with storage. Unfortunately, I've seen a ton of gun owners that don't even have locks on where their guns go. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I recently just got a gun safe. Am I sitting here acting like I'm the, perfect example of, oh, keep all your guns locked up? I mean, guys, again, I just got a gun safe. I have as many guns as I have fingers. So let's get that out the way. But that's besides the point. What I'm simply getting at here is solely the aspect of if you're going to have them in a case, something along those lines, even if it's in your safe or in your backpack, for example, whatever, right? If it's just an excess gun you have, a gun that you're not really going to be doing anything with, a gun that you're not planning on taking anywhere, you're just putting away, there really is no reason for there to be around in the chamber. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth of the matter here. And some people fail to realize that some guns are really just created off an older platform of technology. What I mean by that, here's an example. I especially wouldn't recommend leaving a round in the chamber on your 12-gauge pump-action shotgun. Why? Because let's say something does happen and it falls, there's a possibility that your shotgun could have a ND. It has happened plenty of times, and it has nothing to do with the reliability of the firearm or the platform itself, just simply the fact that it comes from an older technology. Pump-action shotguns have been around. In the same logic of, hey, we would rather just be safe than sorry. If you're storing guns, there's really no need for there to be a round in the chamber. Loaded mag, sure. You know what I mean? You'd rather be able to sit there and at least get into the fight semi-quickly. But round in the chamber doesn't really seem like a necessity. There's no real reason for it. Let's see here. So just on the aspect, we've already covered safety. We've already covered the fact that with a loaded mag in there and a round not in the chamber, you can at least get into the fight semi-quickly. And then the last but not least reason, right? This kind of has to do with the first reason, but also you could argue it's fairly different. Let's say you do have children in the home, and for some reason, your children do not understand how dangerous guns are, which kind of would be your fault in all reality. Because I'll be honest with you, when I do have a child, that child will know gun safety. That child will know, hey, if I see a gun lying around and I touch it and my dad finds out, I'm probably going to get a grade A whooping. That's just how it is. That's just what it is. Just like I would teach my kid to not play in the middle of the street, not play with fire, not play with knives, anything along those lines, I would also teach my child, do not play with guns. The only time you're allowed to touch a gun is if I hand it to you. And even then, I also might be a bit wary about that one. But that's really besides the point. My point simply is that if for some reason your child does not fully comprehend that gun safety is extremely important, they do not fully comprehend the danger of what a gun can be if not used safely and properly, then at least you know the chances of them being able to rack the slide is probably not very high. So you at least can rely on that. And if we're talking about a firearm like, let's say, a 1911, if you have the manual safety on and there's no round in the chamber, let's be honest here, a majority of children aren't going to figure out, hey, you just flip the safety off, pull it back, and then you're good to go. So you do have a lot of pros here, a lot of great reasons why you really don't need to keep a round in the chamber when you're storing a firearm. And of course, some people are going to disagree with me. Some people are going to be like, oh, well, why do you need a loaded mag in there? Some people are going to be like, why don't you need a round in the chamber when you're storing your guns? It's just all, I would argue that this is the safest and most responsible way to do it while still giving you a chance at getting into the fight at a semi-quick pace. And of course, yes, having to rack the slide is going to be slower than just already having a round in the chamber. However, let's be realistic here. If you're in a situation where you have all your other guns stored up and you've used your primary self-defense guns, there's either a possibility that you're dealing with the worst gunfight of your life that you will ever experience, or you will have 1 second to rack the slide and then present and aim and shoot. So with that being said, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Yes, I'm aware this video isn't very long. Yes, I'm aware this video is very much so opinion-based, but hey, at least I'm willing to admit this is just my opinions on it, or these are just my opinions on it. I do believe that this is indeed the safest and most sensible way to store your firearms. And once again, guys, I want to clarify, I'm only referring to firearms that you do not use. Excuse me. If we're talking about your concealed carry firearm, or maybe this is a gun that you have in your desk that you have locked just in case, you hear a bump at night, yeah, there's a little bit of differences there. You know what I mean? For your concealed carry gun, keep it in the holster. Go ahead and put it up wherever you put your guns at. Make sure it's locked up. You don't need to clear the chamber for that. That's your concealed carry gun. There's no need to keep clearing the chamber, rechambering around. That's wasted. That is wasteful. If we're talking about a gun that you just keep in your locked nightstand or whatever, then yeah, sure, go ahead and keep a round in the chamber as long as there's nothing that will get into the trigger guard of that gun. As long as no one is going to be able to get into that. My whole point is simply just that I truly do believe this is the safest way. Now, I know I just went on a bit of a mini tangent there after another 8-minute tangent. Sorry about that. But with that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all in. Whether or not you agree with me about how you should store your firearms, go ahead and comment down below how you personally store your firearms and why you agree or disagree with me about how this may or may not be the safest way to store a firearm. But with that being said, other than that, make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.